moto, y entonces para utilizar esta información aquí, acuérdense que estamos hablando de planning and production, ¿ok? Entonces, esa información la pueden inventar ahorita, en este momento, en realidad no es como el problema inventarlo o no, pero sí que tenga esta información y que sea adecuada. Acuérdense que las introducciones tienen que ser adecuadas al tipo de texto que estamos escribiendo. No me están preguntando la historia de cuándo se hicieron las motos o cuál fue la primera moto. Me están preguntando sobre el proceso, ¿okay? De cómo se produce y cómo se planea una moto. Ese es lo que estamos haciendo aquí, describiendo un proceso. Entonces, notice that even the writing is not that long. No necesito 3 páginas. Y además la información ya la tienen aquí. Entonces, ya la pusimos en orden la vez pasada. Y lo que tienen es que usarla. And be careful, obviously, because we need these linkers. First of all, next, after that, then finally. And also we need to be careful with the use of passive voice, porque es lo que estamos practicando en realidad aquí. También, ojo con sobreutilizar el uso de passive voice. Acuérdense de por qué utilizamos passive voice y para qué lo utilizamos. So please bear that in mind to write something similar to this. No les estoy pidiendo que me escriban ningún ensayo ni nada. Lo que están escribiendo es lo que es la descripción de un proceso. ¿Ok? So just give me a minute, please. Okay, so good morning, Aurelia. Welcome, Luisa. Good morning. Well, both my Luisas, Angel, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to today's session. Okay, so please just be careful with that. Okay. Now, guys, we started, well, problems, questions, or complaints on this homework.
No, teacher.
No, great. Okay, guys, so we started the other day, unit 10, okay, which is entitled Trends. We were talking about a concept called the tipping point, and we were talking about, we started talking about different trends, but lesson 2 is we learn phrasal verbs and vocabulary. But then we are moving into lesson 2. I think we finished lesson 1, right? Con los 4 equipos terminamos lesson 1.
Yes, teacher. So, teacher.
Yes, we did. Okay, good. Thank you. So now we're going to start with lesson 2, which is trends in fashion. Okay. So first you have a reading and a speaking activity. Just give me a second because someone has just arrived. Okay, so. So good morning for the people that just arrived, okay? So we're going to start with this lesson, okay? First, you answered a reading activity, okay? So you are going to read an article about cultural influences on fashion trends. So we're kind of like seeing the relationship between culture and fashion, okay? So you are going to work, well, you are kind of like already thought on these exercises, but we're now going to compare your answers, okay? So you're going to work in groups and predict what cultural trends the article might mention. What is that you predicted? You scanned already the article quickly and found the following: a French luxury fashion house, a cartoon personality, etc. So you are going to compare your answers to this exercise, and you are going, well, you already made notes on the main points of each paragraph. So you are going to compare your notes. What are the important or relevant information in each of the paragraphs of the article, okay? And you are going to compare your answers to the following exercise where you identified examples. So you have here, look at the text and find 7 different phrases used to introduce an example. You are going to compare your answers. Solamente de los párrafos 2 al 5 están las respuestas para este ejercicio. Tú nada más van a comparar, okay? Then you looked at the sentences below and thought of an example for each one. Add your idea to the sentence using a phrase from exercise 4A. You are also comparing. And then you are discussing your answers to questions in exercise 5. Work in pairs to discuss these questions. What trends influence what you wear? What do clothes tell you about someone's personality? If you could own one fashionable item, what would it be? Have you ever bought something just because it was fashionable? Does the fashion industry exist mainly to persuade people to spend money on things they do not really need? So you are discussing these questions too. Pues toda esta parte de reading and speaking, I'm giving you 5 minutes only to compare and contrast, okay? So problems, questions, or complaints?
No, teacher.
Great. So who else just arrived? Just give me a minute to see. So Arlette, good morning. I think Carmen, good morning. Welcome to today's session. Okay.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. So I'm opening breakout rooms. Okay, so we're working in teams of 3. Okay, so see you in 5 minutes.
Hi, Manu.
Hi, Shevel. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Fine.
Okay, guys. So welcome back. Don't worry if you didn't have enough time to finish. Okay, we're going to check this very, very quickly. Okay, so Frida Maris, would you please tell us the first, number 1? Would you please read number 1 and tell us where is it that you find it, or which is the answer, please? Frida, are you here? We cannot see.
Yes, teacher. Please writing in the chat.
Okay. Okay, so Ricardo, can you help, please?
Yes, teacher. A French luxury fashion house. I found that he designs 3 major clothing labels and has worked as creative director of French luxury design house Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, but you see, they are asking us just for the name of the French luxury fashion house. So the name of the house is Louis Vuitton. That's the answer. Okay? Because they are asking just for a word or a phrase, a French luxury fashion house, Louis Vuitton. Okay? Good. Thank you. Alberto, please, what about number 2?
A cartoon personality is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Exactly. So the cartoon personality is SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, good. Thank you, Alberto. Arlette, please, number 3.
A modern artist. I have Andy Warhol and Ed Rocha.
Okay, so we have Pablo Picasso. Okay, we have John Chamberlain. Okay, and do we have anyone else? And Andy Warhol. Okay, so Pablo Picasso, the second paragraph, almost in the middle, at the end of it, John Chamberlain, and then you have Andy Warhol here in paragraph 6. Okay, good. Thank you. Brenda, please, next, number 4.
A TV program, Mad Men. Mad Men.
Okay, so sorry, we missed another one, which was Russia, and then we had Mad Men. Okay, over here on top of the second column. Okay, good. Thank you, Brenda. Shevel, please, number 5.
Yes, teacher. A street movement. These include street movements like graffiti, hip hop, and other groups outside the mainstream.
Okay, so we have graffiti, hip hop, and fashion trends. Okay, good. I think this was the one. Okay, so what number? Okay, so where are we? Number 6, please, Ricardo or Luisa Gutierrez, please.
Okay, number 3, a major influence on fashion trends. Famous athletes, film stars, television personalities, and musicians and trendsetters.
No, high culture, pop culture, and subculture. Those are the major influences on fashion trends. Okay, good. Thank you. Angel, please, next. Number 7?
Yes. Visual art. I have painting and photography.
Okay, so you have visual arts of paintings and photography, yes, as a subculture. Okay, yes, thank you. Aurelia, please, next, the last one. No, sorry, number 8.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, so a star in the fashion industry was it was Marc Jacobs, isn't it? Marc Jacobs. And then a fashion blogger, please, Alejandro.
Yes, teacher, is Brian Boy.
Brian Boy, okay, over here. Okay, so Brian Boy is my blogger, my fashion blogger. Okay, good, guys. So in this kind of exercise, we're looking for a specific information. Okay, so you have a hint for answering this kind of exercises is the information given to you in the prompt. ¿Sí? Entonces las palabras clave están en el prompt y son las que tenemos que buscar dentro de la lectura. Okay, entonces cuando hagan ejercicios de lectura, this is what you are looking for. Okay, now, just give me a minute, guys. I need to change my slide. Okay, now the following exercise here it is. I cannot change my slide. Why? Just give me a second, please. There's something wrong with my slide. Okay, the following exercise was just give me a second. I lost my page. Well, you had to look at the sentences below. No, sorry. You had to read the text again and make notes on the main points in each paragraph, okay? So, Luis Hernandez, would you please tell us which are the most important things in paragraph 1? How is it that you summarize paragraph 1?
I think it's main influence on fashion trends.
No. Again, what did you say again?
Main influence on fashion trends.
Main influences on fashion trends. Which main influences may be the ones you are mentioning?
High culture, pop culture, and subculture.
Okay, so you see the important part of well, not important, but the way you summarize your paragraph is in the last two sentences of the paragraph. There are 3 main influences on fashion trends. They can be classified as high culture, pop culture, and subculture. Okay, so this is the most important information in paragraph 1. Okay, good. Thank you. Carmen, please, how about paragraph 2? How did you summarize paragraph 2?
That the fashion designers often influenced by high culture, especially the visual of painting subculture program. Photography, sorry.
So you see, the main important information in this paragraph is in the last sentence of my paragraph. Okay, please bear that in mind. Okay, Esther, please, how about the 3rd paragraph? How did you summarize paragraph 3?
It's about popular culture and how is influenced by celebrities, and they are role models for many people.
Okay, where did you find that information? Notice that you also find that information in the first sentence of the first two sentences of the paragraph. Popular culture or pop culture is greatly influenced by celebrities, famous athletes, film stars, television personalities, and musicians are trendsetters. Okay, so you found information in the first two sentences. Okay, good. Thank you, sir. Manuel, please, what about paragraph 4? Where did you find, how did you summarize paragraph 4? Manuel, are you here? Am I in the session? Manuel? Yes, Manuel, I think your mic is off.
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat, please?
Yes, how can you summarize paragraph 4? How did you summarize paragraph 4?
Paragraph 4. Well, it talks about street movements.
Where did you find that information?
In the second line. This includes street movements like graffiti, hip hops, and other groups outside the mainstream.
But you see, you are using these includes. So I think that's an example, or introducing an example. So the first sentence, actually, the third influence on fashion trends is subculture. That's how you can summarize the paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, with the first sentence only. Okay. Jonathan, what about paragraph 5? How were you able to summarize paragraph 5? Or how have you summarized paragraph 5? Okay, so you see, guys, in most pieces of writing, the most important part of the paragraph, especially when dealing with body paragraphs, is in the first paragraph, which is called the topic sentence. Entonces, esa topic sentence debe de poder resumir en una sola oración de qué va el párrafo. Because notice, then you have phrases like, for example, you have phrases like, for instance, such as a good example, this includes, a perfect example is. Entonces, todos esos introducen ejemplos. Esas palabras no pueden ir en la topic sentence. Esas frases no pueden ir en la topic sentence. Esas van después de topic sentence. Después de topic sentence van what we call supporting sentences. ¿Sí? Entonces, topic sentence me resume de qué va el párrafo. Supporting sentences apoyan a esa oración y tienen que estar relacionadas con esa primera oración. Y luego viene la concluding sentence. Todos los body paragraphs son así. Vean cómo el párrafo de introducción era un poquito diferente. It was a bit different because the first paragraph, which was the introduction paragraph, was summarized in the last two sentences. The other part was introducing the topic, but then this sentence here, this statement here, explains to you what this article is about. There are three main influences on fashion trends. They can be classified as high culture, pop culture, and subculture because this is what the text is going to talk about.
Teacher, we can see your screen.
You cannot see my screen?
No.
Sorry. But then you have this on page, what page is it? We're on page, I forgot what page is it? 97 and 98, okay? So you see, guys, this is what I want you to notice, how the article is organized. Okay, so you see there are three main influences on fashion trends. They can be classified as blah, blah, blah. This is the thesis statement of my article or my essay. Okay, entonces siempre tenemos que decir de qué va a tratar el texto de manera general y luego cada párrafo tiene una topic sentence que me dice de qué va a hablar cada párrafo. Fashion designers are often influenced by high culture, especially the visual arts of painting, subculture, and photography. Sculpture and photography. This is what this paragraph is going to be about. For instance, blah, 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 is providing supporting ideas for that. Number 3, paragraph number 3, popular culture or pop culture is greatly influenced by celebrities. The rest of the sentence are giving me supporting ideas to back up this topic sentence. Okay, number 4, the third influence on fashion trend is subculture. Remember that we mentioned it here? El primer párrafo hablaba de high culture. The second paragraph was talking about pop culture. And then the third, paragraph number 4 was talking about subculture. Okay, so this is how texts are organized. That's why I need you to be aware on sample text. Okay, porque así como se escriben ciertos textos, así van a empezar ustedes a escribir ensayos. Entonces, vean cómo escriben los demás para que ustedes puedan copiar más o menos el estilo. Not the information, but the style. Okay, so we have already answered exercise number 2. We have phrases used to introduce an example. A perfect example is, for instance, for example, such as, a good example is, this includes, and like. Cualquiera de esas pueden utilizar de diferente manera. You have already seen it in your reading. Okay, now, number 4, it says, look at the sentences below and think of an example for each one. Add your idea to the sentence using a phrase from exercise 4A, one of the phrases from exercise 4A. So, Jennifer Martinez, would you please give us an example? Just give me a minute to stop sharing this so I can share with you my book. Just give me a second, please. So we're talking about this. Number 1, please, Jennifer.
A number of sports stars have become very rich due to endorsing major brands. For instance, Cristiano Ronaldo. No, well, I believe so. And Michael Jordan, yeah.
And Michael Jordan. Okay, good. Thank you, Jennifer. Frida, please, what about number 2? Can you give us an example? How do you see that you completed this sentence? But her mic is not working. Ricardo, can you help here, please?
For example, Paris, French.
But read the whole sentence and give us examples.
Okay. The leading countries in fashion design are hoping for a revival in the fashion industry this year. For example, Paris, French.
Paris, France. Okay.
France, yes.
For example, Paris, France. Okay, good, guys. Then you worked in pairs and discussed the questions that follow. We're not going to go through those questions because you had some time to talk about them, okay? Now, the vocabulary exercise. You had to match the words and phrases in the box with their meanings. Notice how all the words are associated to fashion. Here, remember, guys, that we're looking into the relationship between culture and fashion. So we can tell that fashion is not just a superficial topic because it is associated to culture. Culture is part of our lives, okay? So fashion and culture are tight and close together, okay? So let's see the first exercise, okay? So Alberto, would you please read the first meaning and then tell us to which word have you matched it, please?
Yes, teacher. Number 1, popular or thought to be good at a particular time. A fashion victim.
No, we need an adjective here. Something that can be described as being popular, but an adjective that mean popular or thought to be to be good at a particular time. How would you describe something like that?
Fashionable?
Exactly. Okay, so when something is fashionable, is because that thing or that person is popular or thought to be good at a particular time. Es decir, en un periodo de tiempo, porque la moda no es eterna. Okay, so at a particular time, something or someone could be fashionable. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Alberto. Arlette, please, what about number 2?
Not more modern or popular, unfashionable.
Exactly, the opposite. That's why we add a prefix, unfashionable. So fashionable, popular. Unfashionable, not modern or popular, the opposite. Okay, thank you. Brenda, please, number 3.
Expensive, fashionable clothes made by a famous designer. Fashion statement.
No. You see, a statement is a noun. Y al ponerle fashion adelante se convierte en un compound noun, pero aquí me están diciendo something expensive, fashionable, expensive, fashionable clothes made by a famous designer. Entonces es un adjetivo en realidad. Bueno, es un compound word, pero no es esa. We're talking about the clothes. Not all kinds of clothes. We're talking about expensive and fashionable clothes.
High street fashion?
No.
Yeah.
Shevel, can you help, please?
Teacher, I have designer fashion, but I don't know. Yes.
Yes, that's designer fashion. Okay, something or clothes that are expensive and fashionable, made by a famous designer. That's designer fashion. Okay, good. Thank you, Shevel. Luisa Gutierrez, please, next. Number what? 4?
Number 4. Interested in the latest fashion and in wearing fashionable clothes. I wrote fashion conscious.
Fashion conscious.
Conscious.
Okay, so it's interested. Para interested se le quita una E y se vuelve una sílaba, interested, como si fuera, en vez de decir interested, dicen interested, ¿ok? Interested in the latest fashion and in wearing fashionable clothes. So that's a person, we're describing a person. So a person doing that is fashion conscious because this person is interested in the latest fashion and in wearing fashionable clothes, okay? Thank you. Okay, Angel, please. Next.
The 5.
Yes.
Someone who always wears very fashionable clothes, even if the clothes sometimes make them look silly. I write fashion victim.
Yes. Because you see, we have a saying in Spanish, ¿no? De la moda lo que te acomoda. This person does not follow this saying, okay? This person always wears fashionable clothes, even if the clothes sometimes make them look silly or they just don't fit, okay? So therefore, that's a fashion victim, okay? Good, thank you, Angel. Aurelia, please, next, number 6.
Yes, the type of clothes that are affordable for the average person but keep up with fashion trends. High street fashion.
High street fashion, okay? Yes, that's right. So this is the type of clothes that are affordable for everyone. That means the average people can pay for them, okay? Back in the days, stores like Zara were high street fashion. Nowadays, they have become very expensive y entonces ya no está tan available para el average people, okay? So, entonces, cuando el tipo de ropa are affordable for the average person, but keep up with fashion trends, then it's a high street fashion because everyone can wear it, okay? Ahora, es que no sé porque nunca he comprado, pero no sé, por ejemplo, si Shein es una marca de ropa o si Shein es una, ¿cómo le llaman? Una tienda que compra ropas de otras marcas, es lo que no sé. Do you know, guys?
I think that is una marca.
Okay, if it's a brand, si la marca es Shein, si los productos son producidos por ellos, entonces esa sería, por ejemplo, un ejemplo de high street fashion because their prices are affordable for the average person. Okay, and they still keep up with fashion trends. Okay, so good, thank you. guys. So where were we? Okay, so Alejandro, please, number 7.
Yes, teacher. I showed for the public where mothers wear new style of clothes. Fashion show.
A fashion show. Very good. Thank you. Manuel, please, number 8.
Yes. Clothes that you wear to attract attention and show people the type of person you are. Fashion statement.
Exactly, because that's what a statement is. You make a statement when you show people the type of person you are. Y en este caso, we're doing it through clothes. Entonces, a lo mejor ustedes tienen alguna prenda que es como su marca registrada, casi. Sí, una prenda que solamente ustedes utilizan, bueno, no solamente ustedes, pero que ustedes utilizan y que la gente puede decir, ah, sí, el chavo que siempre viene vestido de tal forma, o la chava que siempre usa sombrero, por ejemplo, ¿ok? Entonces, that's a fashion statement because you are showing people the kind of person you are, ¿ok? Good, guys. So problems, questions, or complaints with vocabulary up to here? Okay, so please, guys, remember, when dealing with vocabulary, we're learning not only the form, because we're learning the spoken form, es decir, cómo se pronuncia, pronunciation, but we're also learning the spelling form, ¿sí? Cómo se escribe. But we're also dealing with meanings. Sorry? So, I was asked by another student, how is it that you could learn vocabulary? Bueno, cada quien tiene sus estrategias. A suggestion is you could have cards like this. I don't know if you can see my card, okay? So you have the spoken, you have the written form, that means the spelling, for example, and you have part of a speech here. And then you have the different pronunciations you can have, so you have the spoken form, okay? On the back of the card, you have a translation in Spanish, if you think you need it. You have the meaning in American English, and you have the meaning in British English, okay? And then you have an example of the word, how is it that you can use the word, okay? What I do is that I do this card. Well, I ask my daughter, for example, to make some cards like this, and I put a keychain here. Y entonces jugamos muchas cosas, desde memoria, jugamos spelling bee para aprender vocabulario. Okay? Or you could put them like this in semantic groups. Aquí tienen, por ejemplo, rooms, ¿qué dice aquí? Rooms of the house. Y también pueden tener la forma escrita, la pronunciación y luego algún ejemplo de cómo se utiliza, por ejemplo, ¿no? Pero eso depende de ustedes. Estas nada más, they're just suggestions on how is that you could learn vocabulary, whatever works for you, ¿ok? Pero al final del día también va a depender de ustedes qué tanto quieren saber del vocabulario. Just remember that vocabulary may have, or words may have different meanings depending on the context in which we use them, okay? Now, very quickly, let's go through the following questions. Probably you haven't discussed this in Teams, but don't worry, we're going to do it as a whole class, okay? So let's see. So very quickly, please, Luis Hernandez, okay? So what colors are fashionable at the moment you think? This is your opinion, okay? There is no right or wrong answer here.
I think in clothes, the basic colors.
Okay, basic colors. Okay, like which would be basic colors?
Well, like black and white, or that ones.
Okay, so do we have, I'm asking because I'm not that aware of fashion, but are there season colors? Like this is what we are almost in autumn. So, well, we are in autumn. So which will be the season colors? Los colores así como de temporada, pues del otoño.
I think like orange, brown.
Okay, probably yellow. Dark. Well, not dark, but well, yes, you're right. Okay, so orange, black, orange, brown, yellow, something like that. Okay, good. Thank you. Carmen, please, what is your favorite high street fashion shop? Do you have one?
Is the one that you said is like Shane, no? Well, it could be, I don't know, Sarah?
It could be Sarah, although as I was saying, I think Sarah has become pretty expensive. Entonces yo no sé qué tan disponible esté para la gente estándar. Antes sí, antes era más barata. Ahorita para mí se ha vuelto muy cara.
Well, there are one, no? Like the Stradivarius, I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember the name of that shop either. There is another one, I think, called Lefties. Que no está tan cara la ropa, por ejemplo. Those would be some examples. Okay, good. Thank you, Carmen. Esther, have you ever tried to make a fashion statement, and what did you wear? Which was that piece of piece of clothing or accessory that you use to make a fashion statement?
Yes, I tried to use, bueno, no sé cómo se dice, gorrita, como gorro.
A cap?
Yes, a cap, sometimes.
Bueno, I have a question there, because, bueno, gorra sería como las gorras para hacer, esas como de béisbol, ¿no? O para hacer como deportes. Or a hat, it could be a hat.
No, como gorritos de invierno.
Okay, so winter hats. A winter hat. Okay, good. Thank you, Esther. Okay, so what is the most unfashionable outfit that you have ever worn, Jonathan? Okay, so you see, for these questions, there is no right or wrong answer because you have your own answers for this. Okay, so now the following exercise is a listening exercise. So you thought on these questions before, because remember that we always do a prep for a listening or a reading exercise. So here, do you think it is exciting or glamorous to work in the fashion industry? Why or why not? And would you like to work in the fashion industry? Why or why not? Because you listened to a conversation between the manager of a fashion department of a major upmarket store and a new salesperson, Chloe, okay? So because that's why you thought on possible answers for the previous questions to get ready for the listening, okay? So you had to tick the pieces of advice which the manager gives Chloe, okay? So Jennifer Martinez, which were those pieces of advice the manager gave Chloe? Jennifer, are you here?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First, well, I just wrote that she needs to know all the store, because usually the trainees seems to think that they don't need to know anything.
But from the 5 tips you have here, which were given?
Sorry, my screen didn't. Let me please just. Oh, section 10. Talk to other trainees, find out about other departments in the store.
Exactly. So what you said can be summarized here. Find out other departments in the store. Any other tip?
The uniforms. Always wear the store uniform.
But that one is not here.
Always, yeah.
Yes, number 3. Well, I don't remember that one. I heard another one.
Let me check.
They didn't use uniform.
Because they didn't wear uniform. Okay, so that's why they cannot wear the uniform, the store uniform, because they don't have one. Okay.
I must hear it again. I worked since I was in university. Okay.
So did you hear
Can
any
give
other
customers
tip?
a lot? Yep, it's fourth. Give a customers a lot of attention.
Exactly. Okay, so find out about other departments in the store. And number 4, give customers a lot of attention. Okay, so thank you, Jennifer. So Ricardo, just a question. Do you understand the meaning of upmarket store? Is it clear that meaning for you guys?
Can you repeat, teacher, please?
Yes, what's the meaning of upmarket store? Here. Wait.
Oy.
Wait.
Upmarket?
What's the meaning of upmarket? What do you think is the meaning? Probably you don't know, but what do you think?
It could be, well, the example that comes to my mind is for an example, like when a supermarket has like a plus, o sea, como por ejemplo Chedraui Select o algunas de esas cosas.
More or less, because you see, this person is the manager of the fashion department of a major upmarket store. Entonces, esos supers, por ejemplo, no tienen fashion department. Pero sí hay algo que tiene que ver con el significado, sí está cerca. Pero no pueden ser esos dos ejemplos. An example would be, por ejemplo, Palacio de Hierro. Okay.
Okay.
Que Palacio de Hierro is an upmarket store. That means very expensive store.
Como de...
Y tiene un fashion department.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, what I'm saying is that what you have here is a compound noun. Vean cómo se compone esta palabra. Major upmarket store. A es mi artículo indefinido. ¿Se acuerdan que ya los vimos? Entonces, normalmente las palabras que vienen después de un artículo indefinido o definido se hacen un compound. ¿Ok? Entonces, store, sustantivo. Upmarket es un sustantivo, pero está trabajando como adjetivo. Y major aquí es un adverbio. Entonces, quiere decir de una gran tienda departamentales, pero una tienda departamental no cualquiera. Una tienda departamental es cara. ¿Ok? Dices de campo. Entonces, no es cualquier tienda. Entonces, upmarket y major are helping me to grade the kind of store I'm talking about. Y además agregámosle que tiene un fashion department. También es otro compound. No es cualquier departamento. Un departamento de modas. Pues tiene que ser una tienda cara que solamente tenga departamento de moda. Que tenga un departamento de moda. ¿Ok? That's why an example would be Palacio de Hierro. Liverpool pudiera ser, Sears pudiera ser, Suburbia pudiera ser, pero esas tiendas no son tan caras. O sea, todavía hay una diferencia de precios entre Liverpool y Palacio de Hierro. Entonces, Palacio de Hierro sí entraría. In the States, I don't know if it still exists, pero hay una tienda que se llama Neiman and Marcus, que son de esas tiendas carísimas que nada más con entrar y respirar el aire nos están cobrando casi. ¿Ok? No sé si recuerdan, pero es que no sé si les haya tocado o no escuchar hablar de Elba Esther Gordillo.
Yes, teacher.
You have heard about her, right? Well, she was caught buying clothes at Neiman and Marcus. Y fue un suceso porque no era una tienda, ni siquiera como Palacio de Hierro, era mucho más cara que Palacio de Hierro. Okay? So that's the kind of the store we're talking about. Okay? So, good guys. So problems, questions, or complaints up to here? Okay, guys. So now, please notice, since you have your books, I want you to please underline things in your book. En realidad, trabajen sobre su libro, porque para eso lo compraron, ¿no? Entonces, I need to, whenever we work on the book, to see how is it that words are or expressions are being used. Vean cómo, por ejemplo, for instance is followed by a comma. For example, it starts a sentence and is followed by a comma. Okay? Such as no, Such as no empieza una coma, no empieza una oración, ¿ok? Y tampoco va seguido de una coma. A good example of this starts a sentence, ¿ok? This includes starts a sentence. A perfect example of starts a sentence, ¿ok? So I need you to see how is that we use them because it's part of using appropriately signs of punctuation and linkers. Entonces, también eso hace que sus oraciones no se vuelvan unos chorizos de oraciones y que tengan oraciones bastante claras y de buena y apropiado tamaño, porque estos linkers no todos nos sirven para unir oraciones. Okay, entonces, this lesson is about expressions of quantity, which I think is a very important topic because even though it seems very easy to learn how to use expressions of quantity, in the end, we still commit mistakes because it is the same as with the uses of articles. There are so slight differences in their uses that we tend to forget. Okay, entonces, look at the sentences from the conversation and try to predict which expressions of quantity should go in the gaps in the sentences. Then listen to the conversation again and check your answers. Espero que hayan seguido la instrucción así tal cual, que primero lo hayan intentado y que después hayan escuchado para resolver sus respuestas. Entonces, just give me a second, please, so I can share with you my presentation on this exercise so you can see. Okay, just give me a second, please. Okay, so let's see. Ricardo, would you please answer number 1?
Yes, teacher. We've got a little time before my next meeting.
We've got a little time before my next meeting. Okay, good. Thank you. Luisa Gutierrez, please, next.
Okay. I've talked to a lot of the trains and served a few customers.
Trainees.
Trainees.
I've talked. Acuérdense de la terminación talked, porque termina talk en K, y entonces la siguiente sonido que más cercano es la T. Entonces, talked. I've talked to what?
A lot of the trainees and served a few customers.
Served, okay? So I've talked to a lot of the trainees and served a few customers, okay? Trainees, we need to make the stress on the second, well, to produce the stress of the second syllable, porque si no, no se entiende. Train es una cosa, trainee es otra cosa, okay? Thank you, Lisa. Alberto, please, next, number 3.
Not really, just a few customers who were a bit difficult.
Okay, so not really, just a couple of customers who were a bit difficult, okay? Thank you. Jonathan, please, next. Trainees. Acuérdense que el estrés es aquí en the second syllable, okay? So first of all, many trainees think they don't need to know something, okay? Good. Angel, please, next.
Yes, the 5. We have no rules about uniforms.
Exactly. We have no rules. No, not rules, sino no rules, because what follows is a noun. Okay, entonces se pluraliza el sustantivo. Bueno, sí, se pluraliza así, no rules. Okay, good. Thank you, Angel. Yes.
And not is for the verbs, maybe?
Exactly.
Okay.
And also, if they could be followed by an adverb. Por ejemplo, decimos not many, pero no many.
Okay.
Depende de lo que siga. Okay. Manuel, please, next.
Yes. I used to do all the trips on my own with no help, but last year I took some of the assistance.
Exactly. So I used to do all the trips on my own with no help because of what follows. But last year I took some of the assistance. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, Luis Hernandez, please.
We've got plenty of ideas and we'll get some information from the organizers soon.
Okay, so we've got plenty of ideas and we'll get some information from the organizers soon. Okay, great. Thank you. Esther, please, next.
Give customer have not time to make up their mind.
Again, give customers what?
Have not time.
Enough.
Oh,
give customers enough time to make up their minds. Okay, good. Thank you. Alejandro, please.
Yes, teacher. Give them a lot of attention and some advice.
Give them a lot of attention and plenty advice. Okay. Sorry, there's an off missing here. Plenty of advice. There's an off missing here. When I was typing, I forgot to put the off here. I'll fix it in a second. Okay, number 10, please. Brenda.
We have enough sales assistants to do the job properly.
Sales, okay, so we have enough sales assistants to do the job properly. Okay, good, guys. So you had time to go through expressions of quantity before coming to the session, okay? So are there any problems, questions, or complaints in the use of expressions of quantity?
No, teacher, just plenty. What is, it's like a lot? It's like a synonym of a lot?
No. Well, it depends on the context. Plenty means enough. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I mean, well, it depends. Es que, ¿cómo explicar esto? Okay, so, yes, means more than a little. O sea, sí, tiene que ver con un poquito de lo normal, pues, pero tampoco tampoco es a lot. Está ahí en medio. Okay? So guys, something we need to remember just to go through this very, very quickly, okay? We need to remember, okay, what follows, what is that we are talking about. Okay, so my mom bought a couple of sodas, plenty of people, there isn't much coffee in the jar, okay? Entonces, las expresiones de cantidad tienen que ver con ¿cuál es la principal característica? Lo primero que nos tenemos que fijar.
If we could count.
Okay, so if we are talking about countable and uncountable nouns, okay, so a couple of, a few, and many, tiene que ver con la cantidad, sí, but all of them are followed by countable nouns. Entonces, además tiene que ver la cantidad, no es lo mismo que a couple, que a few y que many. Ya ustedes ya saben los significados, okay? So we're just thinking on the idea that they are followed by countable. A little and much are followed by uncountable nouns, and a lot of, no, none, some, plenty of could be followed by both countable or uncountable. Entonces, yes, we have to be careful with meaning, but we also have to be careful with what they should be followed by. Countable or uncountable nouns. Entonces, ojo, porque también hay sustantivos que siempre son plurales, hay sustantivos que en español serían contables, pero que en inglés no son contables. Entonces, we have to forget a bit on Spanish here and memorize nouns in English, okay? What's the use in English and how is it that they are being used, okay? So, any other, yes?
I have a question. For
Yes.
example, when we want to question about a price, we relate it for an uncountable or a countable.
Depends, porque si ya sabes el precio de qué estás preguntando, ya sabes si es countable or uncountable.
Okay, it's because, for example, in one occasion I listened that the people say how much for does it cost a thing, and I don't know if it's correct to use how much or how many.
Normalmente utilizamos how much, pero ¿por qué? Porque it has to do with money. Y money is uncountable.
Okay.
O sea, no es porque esté preguntando por la cosa, es que estoy preguntando por el precio de la cosa. ¿You see?
Okay, yes.
Si yo preguntara por algo, o sea, por ejemplo, how many colors do you have? Estoy preguntando por la cantidad de colores, ¿te das cuenta? Y colors son countable. Pero cuando yo pregunto, how much is it something? No estoy preguntando por la cantidad de esa cosa, sea contable o incontable, no importa. Estoy preguntando por su precio, por eso la pregunta es con how much.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so problems with the difference or the use of some and no. Entonces, no solamente es que sigue, si es contable o no contable, pero también cómo se utiliza dentro de una oración. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, es que son varias cosas que hay que considerar, por eso es importante que las revisemos, aunque parezca repetitivo. Entonces tienen ahí, por ejemplo, my mom bought a couple of sodas for us. Entonces, a couple of sodas solamente podría ir al principio de mi oración si uso voz pasiva. A couple of sodas were bought by my mom. Pero sonaría raro, entonces también es lo que necesito que entendamos, que hay cosas que se pueden hacer gramaticalmente, pero que no tienen como mucho sentido, porque cuando ya empezamos a mezclar estructuras, luego las estructuras como que no tienen como mucho sentido de estar juntas. Entonces, ojo con eso. Por ejemplo, plenty of people come to the show. Plenty of people can be used at the beginning, okay? There isn't much coffee in the jar. You see, much es porque es coffee. Coffee is uncountable. Okay, entonces, ¿cómo utilizamos positivo y negativo? Something to be aware too, okay? Some people aren't interested in sport. No bikes are allowed on the pathway. So you see no bikes followed by a noun, countable noun, and then you have passive voice are allowed on the pathway, okay? So you are mixing certain structures here, okay? So what else? What might be the difference between using a few or few, a little or little? Can anyone tell me? Pues no, que ya no habían dudas ni problemas ni nada.
Can you repeat the question, teacher?
Yes. What's the difference between using few or a few, little or a little? Sí, ¿cuándo utilizo few or a few? ¿Cuándo utilizo little or a little?
If it's singular or plural.
Sí, esa es una diferencia entre few y little. Pero entre a few y little y a little, what might be the difference?
In a few, it could be when I know what when I have some idea of how o sea, como a few sería como cuando yo tengo la certeza de cuánto voy a ocupar, o sea, un poco, y few, no, ¿verdad? No olvidaron.
You see, look at these examples, please. O sea, por eso les digo que es que no es nada más de si es countable o uncountable. Ese es el primer paso, sí. Si yo sé que lo que estoy contando es countable o uncountable, sí. Pero no es lo único que hay que observar. Es todo lo que queremos decir. Entonces, there's a first set of sentences. I have to do a few things this afternoon. He always gets good results with very little effort. Can you put a bit of sugar in the tea? O sea, aquí estamos utilizando few, little, a bit of y sí. Few es para countables como things. Aunque things es algo general y no estoy especificando, pero el hecho de que yo diga, I have to do a few things this afternoon, pues las puedo separar y las puedo contar. Okay? He always gets good results with very little effort. Uncountable, porque effort, esfuerzo, no se puede contabilizar. Se puede contabilizar como mucho o poco, pero no un esfuerzo, dos esfuerzos. Okay? Can you put a bit of sugar in the tea? Is the same thing. Is the same thing. Bit seguido normalmente de uncountables, porque sugar, pues digamos que sea un granito, digo, un granito de azúcar. Entonces, es uncountable. Entonces, pero después tenemos a few, or a few, little or a little, ¿sí? Que también seguimos con esta idea de countable y uncountable, pero hay que agregar algo más. Dice, there's little milk in the fridge. We have to buy more. Okay? Shall I buy some beers? No, it's okay. There are a few in the fridge. Entonces, countable and uncountable, sí. Little puede ser utilizado con a little y few puede también ser utilizado como a few. Ahí no va a depender de si es countable o uncountable. Who knows what it depends on? Por ejemplo, do you speak English? I speak very little English. Do you speak English? I speak a little English. ¿Cuál será la diferencia de significado aquí?
Teacher, it could be like when we put a, it's very, muy poquita así para referirnos a que es muy, pero muy poquito lo que sabemos, por ejemplo, ahí.
No, más bien sería al revés. When I don't use indefinite article y digo little or few, that's what I mean. That it is almost none, not enough. Por eso, there is little milk in the fridge. We have to buy more, porque no va a ser suficiente. Okay? Do you speak English? I speak very little English. Pues nada más a decir yes y no. Okay? No es suficiente. I need more. Okay? Pero si utilizo a few or a little, it's because we have enough. That means a bit more than, not that much, but enough. Okay? Entonces, si yo digo, shall I buy some beers? No, it's okay. There are a few in the fridge. Vean cómo es suficiente. Hay algunas, pues, ¿cuántas te vas a tomar? ¿No? Entonces, can you tell the difference now? ¿O no nos quedó todavía no?
No, teacher. Sorry.
Little sin el A, few sin el A, means not enough. Por eso hay que comprar más. There is little milk in the fridge. We have to buy more. Si dijera, there's a little milk in the fridge, we could buy tomorrow, quiere decir que por lo menos para hoy nos alcanza. Por eso puedo decir a little y no tengo que ir al súper corriendo ahorita, porque hay suficiente. ¿Sí o no? Y milk es uncountable, entonces por eso podemos utilizarlo con milk. Pero beers es countable. Entonces, shall I buy some beers? No, it's okay. There are a few in the fridge. Puedo decir a few porque hay suficientes. Shall I buy some beers? Yes, please. There are few in the fridge. Quiere decir que seguramente en el refri nada más hay dos y no me alcanzan ni para el suspiro. Si lo utilizo con few. Quiere decir que no hay suficientes.
Teacher, podría ser como la intención, por ejemplo, little como una intención negativa, pero no en el sentido de que es negativa, sino como desanimado o que es menos.
Sí, exactamente.
Y a little,
sí, tiene esta connotación positiva o negativa, si es a lo que quieres decir. O sea, there's little milk in the fridge, pues híjole, qué pena, no tengo tanta, sí te necesitamos comprar. Pero no es una intención de que te mande yo a comprar, sino es la intención de que no es suficiente, no alcanza, por eso la connotación es un poquito negativa, ¿sí? No es suficiente que comprar. O nos aguantamos con lo poquito que hay. ¿Sí? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, teacher. I'm sorry.
Ok, entonces, acuérdense, existen ambas formas, pero tienen un significado diferente, pues. ¿Ok? Si yo digo, there's little milk in the fridge, te estoy diciendo, no hay suficiente. Si yo te digo, there's a little milk in the fridge, hay suficiente. Esa es la diferencia, por eso tiene una connotación positiva uno y una connotación negativa el otro, porque estoy indicándote con una palabra que hay suficiente o que no hay suficiente. ¿Ok?
Teacher.
Yes.
¿Podría volver a poner la diapositiva que había mostrado antes de esta, por favor?
¿Cuál será la que mostré antes de esa?
La que tenía varias de estas cosas, así del lado izquierdo.
Ah, ok.
Es que no alcanzo.
Expressions of quantity.
Yes.
Okay. Just give me a second, please. I can share this with you. Right. This is the one, right?
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
Ok. Otro detalle que me había olvidado comentarles con el some y con el no es que, bueno, y eso yo creo que ustedes ya lo saben, que en inglés no podemos tener doble negación. Entonces yo no puedo decir no bikes are not allowed, sino no bikes are allowed on the pathway, porque el negativo ya está en no bikes. ¿Ok? Pero con el some sí puedo decir some people are interested or some people aren't interested in sport. ¿Ok? Entonces también mucho ojo con estos expressions of quantity. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, si utilizo no o utilizo none, pues entonces ya hay un negativo o un cero ahí, entonces ya no puedo doble negar, vaya. ¿Ok? Ahora, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so problems, questions, or complaints up to here, guys? Let me see if there is anything else I forgot to mention.
No, teacher. I think that with the example that is enough or not enough, it's more clear. Well, for me.
Okay, good. So now, guys, you have some and any. Okay, so yes, countable or uncountable nouns. We just have to be careful with the nouns whether they are plurals or not. Por ejemplo, para preguntas solamente puedo utilizar any. Have you got any new friends? Okay. I have some questions to ask you. Okay, pero yo no puedo preguntar, have you got some friends? Have you got any new friends? Entonces, además de countable and uncountable nouns, we have to be careful whether we are asking a question or saying a statement. Any, también solo hay oraciones negativas. There isn't any sugar in the cupboard. Yo no puedo decir, there is any sugar. No, there isn't any sugar. Okay, entonces no solamente es countable plural or uncountable nouns, but also positive and negative. We're asking questions. Okay, you have, are there any students in the classroom? But for the question, but there are no students in the classroom for the statement. Okay, entonces ojo también con eso. No puede ser para both. I could say there is no sugar in the cupboard. Puede ser, pero suena mejor there isn't any sugar in the cupboard. ¿Ok? Hay cosas que suenan mejor que otras, aunque se puedan decir. ¿Ok? ¿Por qué? Porque normalmente bueno, es que depende de lo que queramos decir como siempre. ¿Ok? So there are no biscuits left. There, I have no questions to ask. There is no meat on my plate. Entonces depende de qué quiero decir. Acuérdense que el énfasis está en lo que yo quiero decir y de ahí va a depender qué expression of quantity do I choose to use. Entonces acuérdense, siempre form, meaning, and use. These are forms, different forms to express quantity, but I need to be aware of meaning and use. Okay? What else do I have here? Well, you have some, okay, for questions, okay, pero porque some, aquí va a depender de si es countable or uncountable. Entonces también es lo que tenemos que pensar. Okay, son muchas cosas que hay que considerar. Okay, we have some of, plenty of, a couple of, a lot of. Okay, this could be either this. Usually could be the object or the subject of my sentence too. Okay, none and none of.
Sorry, we can see your screen.
You cannot see my screen?
No.
I forgot to share it with you. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so we have some of, plenty of, a couple of, and a lot of. You have none and none of. Okay, you use none of followed usually by a noun. Some of, plenty of, a couple of, a lot of, siempre van seguidos de un sustantivo. None solamente puede ir sin nada al final de una oración. Dice, there were 3 bottles before we left and now there is none. No hay ninguna de esas. Okay? So those are the kind of uses we have with expressions of quantity. So let me see anything else. I think no. Okay, so, and please remember, you have how much y how many. Pero también depende que pregunten. Okay, you have how many concerts have you been to? How much coffee have you had? Pero estamos hablando de cantidad. Okay, how much is something? We're talking about price. So how much is it? Okay, or how much are they? El plural lo vamos a marcar con el it o con el they. O how much are these jeans? Okay, entonces no está en la cantidad, está en el dinero. Por eso es how much y how many. Okay, so problems, questions, or complaints up to here? Speak now or forever. No. Okay, good.
So, teacher, how many? We also use it when it comes to price.
No, countable nouns, pero hablando de cantidad. Es que no es lo mismo cuántos lápices tienes que cuánto cuestan los lápices.
O sea, como las cosas que yo tengo, o sea, por ejemplo,
exactamente, una cosa es la cantidad. Exactamente, una cosa es la cantidad de cosas y la otra es la cantidad en costo. Acuérdense que money is uncountable. Es decir, yo pregunto por el precio de algo, pregunto how much is the coffee, por ejemplo, ¿ok? Porque how much is the money, the coffee es la bebida de lo que estoy preguntando. Son dos cosas diferentes. Y la otra, how much coffee is there in your mug, in your thermos? Estoy preguntando por la cantidad de café que hay dentro de mi termo, pero es diferente, pregunta. Entonces ese how much y how many va a depender de lo que estoy preguntando. Entonces, how much money, how many pencils, lo que sea que pueda contar.
Okay.
Okay.
Gracias.
So now, guys, there's an exercise on page, what page is it? I don't know, page 99, I guess. Exercise number 10. It says underline the correct, just give me a second to share. Quantifiers in the sentences below. In some sentences, both are correct. Okay. So Arlette, would you please do number 1?
We met a few Italian designers when we were in Milan.
In Milan, yes, because Italian designers is countable. Entonces, por eso we met a few these Italian designers when we were in Milan. Okay, thank you. Carmen, please, number 2. Carmen, are you here or not? I cannot see. Oh, your mic is off. Oh, I think not. Okay, so Jennifer, can you help?
They give us some advice on how to improve our service.
They gave us some advice, yes, because advice, remember, uncountable. No puedo decir un advice, dos advices, tres advices. En Spanish probablemente, pero en español, pero en inglés no. Yo creo que ni en español, ¿ok? Good. Aurelia, please, number 3.
Yes. There will be a lot of journalists at the fashion show.
So it could be both. There will be plenty of and a lot of journalists at the fashion show. There's a double D over here. But both of them are possible. Why? Because journalists, but plenty of and a lot of can be both used with countable and uncountable. Here, what will depend on is on the meaning. Okay, plenty of significa un poquito más de lo normal y a lot of quiere decir muchos más de lo normal. Entonces, más bien es la cantidad de gente que hay. Okay, good. Thank you. Ricardo, please, next, number 4.
Yes, we'll have to do a lot of work when we get back from the show.
Okay, so we'll have to do a lot of work when we get back. Okay, why? Because again, uncountable. Okay, thank you. Luisa Hernandez, please, next. The last one.
We are looking at a few new designers for the spring collection.
Okay, so we are looking at, both are possible, a couple of new designs for the spring collection and a few new designs for the spring collection because both these can be used with countable nouns, designs, okay? So puede ser nada más un par o algunos. A few, more than a couple, okay? A couple new designs, okay? Good. Problems, questions, or complaints up to here? Sorry, it's a couple of. So problems, questions, or complaints up to here?
Teacher, I have a question in number 4. Why was a lot?
A lot porque work is uncountable. Yo no puedo decir trabajo, 2 trabajos, 3 trabajos. Tengo trabajo.
In the table says that a lot is countable with countable nouns.
Sí, pero también puedes utilizar para los dos. A lot of se puede utilizar para los dos en algunas circunstancias. A lot of is both.
Okay.
A lot of is both. Okay. Good. So, problems, questions, or complaints up to here? Okay, so there are rules, guys. Sí, están las reglas y nos tenemos que aprender, hay que ceñirse a las reglas básicamente, ¿ok? Hay momentos en los que hay excepciones para las reglas, sí, pero sí lo va a marcar el uso, ¿ok? Pero acuérdense, para a lot of, plenty of, no, none, some, enough, puede ser ya sea countable and or uncountable, ¿ok? Pero aquí ¿cómo se dice? I forgot the word. El contraste que estábamos haciendo, if you remember number 4, just give me a minute, please. We have a couple of, a lot of y many. ¿Sí? A lot of puede ser countable and uncountable, pero many solo puede ser countable. Y work is uncountable.
Yes.
¿Sí o no? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Entonces, porque no puedo decir un trabajo, 2 trabajos. Sí puedo decir que tengo 2 trabajos porque trabajo de mesera y trabajo de maestra, por ejemplo. Pero work aquí es mucho trabajo. Ni siquiera estoy especificando qué, nada más mucho. Okay? Okay, guys, no. So, as a homework, please, Make sentences about the people below. Try to use as many of the expressions of quantity as possible. Me gustaría que de preferencia pudiera ser un documento que pudieran trabajar la próxima, que lo empiecen a trabajar en su casa, pero que después en equipos el día que nos toque trabajar, ya sea el lunes o el miércoles de la próxima semana, lo puedan compartir con sus compañeros. Entonces, en un documento Word, con el que puedan compartir su pantalla estaría bien para que se revisen las oraciones. Es lo que vamos a hacer en la próxima clase. ¿Ok? Now, we have 2 people presenting today. Are these people ready to present? We had, I don't remember. Según yo, Manuel y Carla presentaban hoy. So, Manuel, are you ready to present?
Teacher, I presented last week.
Sorry. Yes, you're right. Estoy viendo la hoja equivocada. ¿Quién presentaba hoy? I forgot. Yes, you're right. Carla, Manuel, yo presenté. ¿Alguien falta de presentar? Ya todo el mundo se presentó.
Me, teacher.
Ángel, ¿faltas tú? Would you like to
Yes.
present today or would you like to present the next session?